Hey there, I'm Jane Caffrey with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. This new year, the Arizona Department of Economic Security is working to address a backlog in processing applications for unemployment and SNAP benefits. It's a problem the ABC15 investigators have been tracking, listening to people who have been waiting for months.
There's no money. I've borrowed money from my family as much as I can. I'm 56 and single. Where am I going to go besides under a bridge?
The governor's office recently announcing $7.5 million will go toward temporary customer service workers and overtime at the Department of Economic Security to address the backlog. The funding comes from leftover federal stimulus dollars. Arizona starting the new year with a minimum wage increase. It's going from $14.70 an hour to $15.15. That 45-cent increase means Arizona's minimum wage is more than double the federal minimum of $7.25. More than a dozen other states following suit, impacting more than 8 million workers. In the state of education, a new state audit is raising serious questions about the nearly $26 million spent on school safety. The Auditor General found the investment in emergency communication systems has not yielded anticipated benefits. Since 2019, the state has invested nearly $26 million into what's called the School Safety Interoperability Fund. The money was meant to help schools and law enforcement buy equipment to improve emergency communication. But the audit found only 20% of public districts and charter schools actually participated in the program. Some private schools received funding and are using these systems even though they aren't funded by public tax dollars. When auditors tested some of the systems, they didn't work properly.
Schools still had ways to communicate with law enforcement during emergencies. We have concerns about whether the $26 million the state has invested in these systems was spent effectively.
The Auditor General has sent recommendations to law enforcement agencies on how to better utilize these communication systems. Looking ahead, safety remains a top priority even though the holidays are over. And Valley first responders want to remind you that fireworks are legal in Arizona through Sunday. The Scottsdale Fire Department says there's a clear distinction between legal consumer fireworks and illegal aerial or explosive fireworks. Regardless, they recommend keeping water or a fire extinguisher nearby and being mindful of dry conditions. They say every year they see preventable fires and injuries tied to fireworks. They're also urging residents to supervise children closely and keep pets indoors during celebrations. And as the holiday season winds down and your once glorious Christmas tree, starts looking a little bit more like Charlie Brown's scraggly sidekick, the city of Phoenix is offering those trees a second life. They're accepting live Christmas trees, wreaths, and garlands for recycling and compost. The free program runs through next Friday with drop-off locations at 14 parks within the city of Phoenix. We are just days away from the Verbo Fiesta Bowl at State Farm Stadium, and ahead of kickoff next week, Sky Harbor Airport was transformed Friday into a welcome zone for the fans. It's complete with a 15-foot replica Fiesta Bowl trophy.
Just a couple of days, this entire week, thousands and thousands and thousands of people will be coming through this terminal to visit our city, to visit our community, and we are putting on such a great game and event that is going to be watched around the country, maybe even around the world.
It's a big deal, and now we know who will be competing in the Fiesta Bowl after two wild football games over the past few days. It will be the Miami Hurricanes versus the Ole Miss Rebels. The winner will have quite a challenge, though, facing the winner of the Oregon-Indiana game in the College Football Championship. Kickoff is coming up this Thursday, January 8th at 5:30 at State Farm Stadium.
Tracking your forecast, I'm meteorologist Justin Hobbs. Shaping up for a really nice Sunday here across the valley. We'll start the day off at 54 degrees. Now, we will be dealing with some high clouds to start the day, and clouds are going to be off and on throughout the day as well. Warming to 66 by the lunch hour, 72 by the afternoon, which does put us above average for this time of the year. However, going to be a chilly start in the morning, especially across the high country. We're in the 20s from Flagstaff, Window Rock at 25, just shy of freezing from Winslow down through Heber, Show, you're 37 in the low 50s there in western Arizona. We'll get to the upper 60s, low 70s in western Arizona. Meanwhile, 50s and 60s up there along the rim, 48 for Flagstaff and 72 degrees here in the city. Now, as we do get into this week, we are watching a series of storms. However, the latest couple runs of those models have pulled back a little bit on that rain chance, at least here for the valley. But with those storms, temperatures are going to fall back. Upper 60s here. We have a quick passing system. Shouldn't impact the valley a lot here Sunday night into Monday. Then another chance as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. Highs back into the mid-60s.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, just head to abc15.com or download the free ABC15 mobile app.